Yo, what up? It's your boy LV, and today we're going to be talking directly to you about how you can really take your content and convert. Whether it goes down in the DMs or the live stream, we have the queen in the building. We have Michelle here, a very special guest. Y'all stick around. We'll be right back. Yo, what up? This is the LV TV podcast, and we are here to help you talk all things content, client, cash flow for the profit and impact focused coaches and consultants. And we have Michelle in the building. Now, before we get to her, we just had some super dope conversation off air that I want to make sure we get it here on the podcast. But if you don't know who she is, I promise you're going to want to follow her after this conversation. So let's dive straight into it. Michelle, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you so much for having me on the podcast. I'm excited to chat. I love all things content, conversion, all of that.
Man, listen, I am thankful that you said yes, because I know you're super busy, number one. Number two, we met through Clubhouse, and you were just giving out some just dope stuff when we had a crazy room, and so many people came in. I was like, yo, I'm following all these dope people who came into the room that we were hosting, myself and LaShawn. So you're from Chicago, and I have an affinity in my heart for the people in Chicago. Listen, I think I'm supposed to live in Chicago, or I should have been born in Chicago. So I have an affinity, and we also have a similar track. Worked in the healthcare industry, left there not under our own desires, but we're here where we are. So I want to talk to you and get straight to your story. Like, where were you when the light bulb came on? You was like, yo, this social media thing is my thing. Like, where were you? What were you doing?
So yeah, I was working in healthcare and I got fired out of nowhere in 2016. I went into work and that was my last day. But oddly enough, the week before that happened, God had told me to pack up my desk. So my desk was already organized, and all I had to do was get my stuff and go. It was really, I think, I knew before they told me I was going to get let go, I knew in my heart that just working in healthcare wasn't for me. So after, I was let go, I freelanced for a minute. I wrote for naturallycurly.com. I was doing more brand sponsorships as an influencer. And then I'm like, I really want to get into social media. So I actually posted a post on Facebook, and I said, if there are any small businesses looking for social media management, hit me up. I really, wanted to get started in that career. So I did that, and I ended up, working for a multi-million-dollar beauty brand, helping them start the foundation to their social media. I was able to help them build the community that they have now, and really, learn a lot. And so it's just really crazy how everything happened. I think that it wasn't meant for me to work in healthcare, and I was meant to work in social media. So I really do love social media. I've been an influencer for 11 years. I have, a lot of experience in influencer marketing as well, brand ambassador, email marketing. I have, a very diverse digital background, but I choose to focus mainly on my social channels, and what I provide my clients with is social media strategy, because I just feel like a lot of people say yeah, I got social media, but they don't really have a strategy to put it all together on how to put that out on social media so that you get the results that you want. It's just people throw things out and they don't really have a reasoning behind it. And I saw that gap. So I really try to focus on strategy a lot and really simplifying things for people. Everything that you see me do online, I simplify my podcast, simplify my content for people so that it's easily broken down, so it's not confusing. That's another thing that I think that people, are confused with social media. So I want to help them with that. And also, people have a negative relationship with social media. People complain about Instagram. People complain about social media, but you're on it. I want to change people's perception with that. Stop complaining about social media and use it to your benefit, because there's money to be made. So that's a little bit about me. I know I went into
I love it.
On all of that.
No, listen, let's talk that talk, because people need to hear the truth, right? And they can see someone like you who has the success. They can see someone like you have worked, like you said, behind the scenes, and now you're doing your own thing and you're doing it at a high level. I think what you say has validity, and I say the same thing, right? I mean, it's like, yo, if you can't throw anything at the wall and hope that it stick and be like, oh yeah, and now you do the same thing over and over and over again. I'm like, yo, your audience is tired of eating a bowl of spaghetti. Give them something else. You know what I mean? It can still be Italian food, but give them something else. Can you do some tortellini? I don't even know if that's some Italian food or not, or I don't know. You know what I mean? Give me some chicken parm, all right? Give me something besides spaghetti and lasagna. So let's dive into it, right? I know you got your course, right? And I saw the method, VEC method, right? So let's talk about content that actually converts. What's the type of content, Michelle, that actually works? Like, what have you seen that works every single time, whether it works for you or for your clients?
I think that the content that works is the content that connects with your audience. You have to first know who they are before you even start to create this content. That's important. Like, number one, what are your goals with this content? And number two, like, who is your audience and who you're talking to? Say you have an email list that you want them to sign up for or a freebie. You want to say, okay, well, what type of content are they going to relate to? So, an example is I took a piece of content. There was this popular song that was trending. I think it was the Soldier Boy, Make It Clap, Clap, Clap. And I wanted to explain to my audience how I was able to use Instagram to convert my audience to my email list. So I gave them some tips in the reel did good. It was trending. So, but it helped me to get more email conversion. So that's the whole point. You want to create content that is going to excite your audience, that's going to entertain. Like, you really have to look at your analytics to see what your audience is engaging with and then recreate that. Like, don't recreate the wheel and just recreate content that nobody even cares about. I'm a big analytics girl. I go back to my analytics and I'm like, oh, they love this reel, they love this funny reel, they love the humor, oh, they
Mm-hmm.
love the inspiration, oh, they love like this, like, oh, and any type of inspiration, anything, people are gonna eat it up. They're gonna
Yeah.
share it. They're gonna be liking it. It's one thing. It ended up going. One of my reels ended up picking up 2 weeks later, and it got like 3,000 likes. But it was an inspirational reel, and it was a piece of content that I already had. It was just a time
Mm.
lapse, and I added some trending sound over it. So don't even make it so hard. Like, just think about the content that you already probably have in your phone that can be utilized for social media, but definitely the type of content that converts is when you're speaking to your audience's pain points, when you're
Mm.
able to like talk to them in the content, like they can relate to it, like, oh yeah, she's right, oh yeah, that is right. And just because people may not like and comment on your post, oh, believe me, they can be in the DMs,
Yeah.
they are sending messages. So don't even look at the likes and all that, like, and get caught up in that. You want to be measuring, like, okay, am I getting leads? Okay, am I getting people to sign up for my stuff? Like, nobody's going to get 30,000 signups in a day. So you have to be consistent. You have to understand that it's going to take some time, but knowing who your audience is key to creating any content. Before you do anything, know that.
Yeah, I lead with that, right? You got to know that's why this podcast is for coaches and consultants. It's not for necessarily influencers, but influencers can still get some good tidbits because it still kind of translate for the niche. So really niche down, right? So with the inspirational, because I heard you say inspirational and educational, you talked about reels as some content that's actually convert. Let's take it a step further, right? So I would say step one, you've made mention that know who you're talking to and put that conversation into the content. So what else would you say is some content that converts or converts highly, even if it's just from your own experience with your content?
I would say content that converts highly is testimonials. People want to see social
Mm,
proof of stuff. I think, again, it may not do as well like if it's a graphics or something, but oh, when I post testimonials, I almost always get DMs. Video content too. I think that when you just go, even if you go live, going live, oh my
yeah, oh,
gosh,
man,
I
listen,
get
you are the
so
go live queen.
and you know what? I haven't even been live. I'm going live today. But like going live converts. Like, I get people like, oh, I'm interested. And then they'll send me like a DM, like, and 2, 3 DMs, that's 2, 3 leads. I don't know how people are looking at these numbers, but like those are 2 to 3 people, especially if you have high ticket services. You don't necessarily need 25,000 people, right? You need 10, 15 people to make,
Yeah.
your goal. So look at it like that. And you want high quality people because you don't want to be working with people that are
Mm,
not your people.
come
Because
on.
you can work with dream clients. You can
Yes.
work with people who are like you. Like my last few clients that I have had coming in, perfect. They get it, perfect. They listen, they already implementing stuff. Like,
Hmm.
I love working with people, but sometimes I get super frustrated too because if you work with me and then you don't implement like what I say, it's just like, well, that
Why are
was a
you
waste
here?
of part-time. Like, I really put my all into that, and I was hoping that you would at least take the initiative to implement. So if you want to work with me, you have to be an implementer, because I'm going to push you, because I'm a master executor. And if you don't execute on things, that's when nothing's going to happen.
Yeah.
You can have all the ideas in your head, but if you don't execute it, you're going to be sitting there. So just knowing all of that, and I think is very, very important too, just to know that not all the content is going to do good all the time. That, again, you have to look at your analytics and really understand that first too. So
yeah. No, I'm glad you said that, because I always tell people fast action takers are fast money makers, right? Those who take action gets results. And that's where I feel like this social media landscape is very warped and skewed. And I'll tell you what I mean by this. They'll take your course. Let's say you take your course. Michelle stuff don't work. Michelle stuff don't work. Then I'm like, okay, well, what did you do? Crickets. Right? And then when I get folks who come to me, because I do high ticket coaching, I'm like, yo, what did you do? Oh, I ain't got to that yet. Oh, okay. That's why it's not working. Or, now here's something that I thought you were going to lead with that we definitely got to have the conversation on, is mindset.
Oh,
like,
yes.
Folks, like,
I forget that.
Like Michelle, like, folks be on, like I said, we just going to have this conversation. Like, you have to work on this mindset all day, every single day. You can't let this thing dry up or make it feel like you got it, because that's why people don't take action. That's why people don't understand, the difference between price and value. That's why, you know what I mean? And or they do what you said, they get headache clients because they didn't attract the wrong people, and they got folks who don't work on their mindset, right? So I'm definitely in agreement with you when it comes to that piece, because don't buy a course if you don't plan on taking action now, or buy it at the special price and then come back to it later. But even if it's $27, please, man, please, sir, give it your all. You'll be surprised. Some of these low ticket products actually get you some results too. You know what I'm saying?
I got a whole bunch of $27 templates, $27 courses,
come on,
$47 queen. I will buy it in a minute, but I use it.
Yeah, you got to use it. You got to use it. So if you're listening and you're talking about content that converts, use what you are learning, even if it's free. I'm getting people to come and be like, I get results off your free stuff. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I got to figure out how to convert you. But no, I mean, I do. But it's all good. So now let's switch the script here, right? Because I think this is going to be the bulk of the conversation. Because sometimes knowing what not to do is just as valuable as knowing what to do, or sometimes better. So let's dive into it, right? What are some of the things that you're seeing? And this can be, and again, you don't have to be scripted. Like, what are you saying that people should not really be doing? It's 2021. What should they not be doing? And I'm going to start off. I'll kick it off. This is my number one. Don't buy followers. All right. I'm just, and I know, I know that sounds elementary.
Followers, they should not, because they're not even real people. They're not even going to interact with your content. Is the followers make you feel good? Like, I think we should be past that. Like you said, mindset. You have to work on that every day if you're going to be on social media.
Yes.
Here's the secret. A lot of people are lying. So don't even look at it like that. They could be lying on this app. So just worry about you and your brand, and don't even worry about what Susie or Billy are doing. Like, totally just go after that. I think another thing people should stop doing is stop not posting a caption. What are we looking at? Why are you just posting hashtags? And I can seeing it like, but people it's
love it.
because people are like, well, I'm like, how could you not post this without a caption? What am I looking at? What do you want me to do? What am I supposed to go to? It's just a post. Is it even a post? Just something. It's not even a post. I don't know. So please stop posting without captions. We can't do anything. We aren't led to do anything. Like, we're not Beyonce. Only she can do that.
Right. And still convert. Right? Because she's already converting.
The only one, everybody listening, she's the only one that can do it. Us other people, we can't.
No, us regular, everyday entrepreneurs, coaches, and consultants, we have to put. And then, I don't want to go too deep into this, but even knowing what to write in your captions, like, there's a difference between just writing captions. Like, I've studied over a year, and I'm just saying a year because I know I can document back to the year, but it's over a year of what to actually write, not only in captions, but in emails, but on sales pages, And I'm like, are you all kidding me? You think a Drake lyric is gonna convert? Really? OVO's finest. Really? Oh, okay. Oh, Beyonce lyric. So again, don't waste your caption space. Ooh, bar.
Oh,
That was
yeah,
a
don't waste your
bar.
caption, yeah, that was good. Don't
That was
waste
a
your caption
bar.
space, and hook them in,
Yes.
and have a story. And stop not having call to actions. That's another mistake. Stop not having call to actions. You have to funnel them somewhere else because as we see, social media, Instagram shut down not too long ago, and you need to be able to funnel them to other places. So make sure that you always have a call to action. Another thing that I see people doing is like jumping on the trends, but the trends don't fit your brand. Now, you don't have to jump on every trend. I
Michelle.
wasn't about to do the busted challenge. No way. I don't care if I was just being cute. It's just not me. I don't have to be on every trend, right? And that is okay. It is okay.
Okay.
Another trend will come around and you will be able to get it cracking.
Yeah.
So you don't have to do every trend. And I think with reels too, just make it super easy. It doesn't even have to be like thought out because people lose interest and you really want to get them in super early
Yeah.
and have a call to action. Don't just post a reel for it to be cute. I mean, you can, but you want them to do something. Do you want them to feel inspired to share with other people
Mm,
because that's getting more people back to your page, allowing you more reach.
yeah.
But yeah, I see that mistake a lot. I don't know. I
What are
think
some
that's
live stream mistakes?
don't be I'm waiting for people to join the live.
Yo, that's the first. That's
Let me
what
just
I
wait
was
for
like.
some
You
more
the
people
live
to come
stream queen. I
in.
know it. That's the number one.
Let me just wait for some more people to join. I just wanna wait. For who? Talk to the people that are there because if you don't, you're making them feel not important. You
And they
wanna make them
leaving.
always feel important. So just get right into your speech. I don't care if there's 2 people on the live. Also, I'm going to repurpose this and I would rather not edit it out. I'd rather just get into what I'm talking about because I have an outline, I have
Yeah.
my topics, and I'm just gonna get straight into it. People will join in. If not, they will miss the replay. And if not, they will not see it because all my replays are only available in my membership. So
Mm, tell them. Ooh. I like that. That's a nice little conversion strategy. If they know you the IG live queen and they got to get that info, they got to get into that course. And we'll talk a little bit about that as well. So one of the things that I find interesting with content on Instagram is that you know people don't really utilize the DM. So let's talk about the DM, right? And I always tell people, man, the song said it go down in the DM, and I know that's overplayed. Everybody use it, but it's the God honest truth. So let's talk about the DMs. What are some do's and don'ts of DM etiquette?
don't just be DMing people when they first follow you and be like, "Hey, Susie, oh my God, I'm so glad you follow me." I don't think that strategy works. People get
Mm,
really put off and they're like, okay, I would like make it authentic, right?
mm-hmm,
Follow, like sometimes why don't you go in their stories and see like what they're talking about or actually interact with them?
mm,
I've had people just like start interacting with me just by whatever type of story that I shared. I always make sure to thank them to say, thanks so much. If they're supporting my podcast, I make sure to share people's,
yeah,
share like their messages in my stories, even if like
mm-hmm,
I cut their name out, but people feel good about that. Like, oh my gosh, she shared, my message in her story or whatever, or tag them or whatever. But I
mm-hmm,
think just creating those genuine DM relationships go far. People really do have to watch you for a long time. I'm in the season where a lot of people have been watching me for years and now they're finally like, oh, okay, I'm about to work with Michelle. I done saved up or whatever they need to do to work with me. And they're like, okay, so now I've been working with you. I mean, I've been like watching
mm-hmm,
you all this time. So now I'm ready. Like, I'm sending you DMs.
yeah,
But people send me DMs like every day, but I just make sure to really have conversations with them, like, and treat them like people. You don't know what it can turn into, but be genuine. And
yeah,
if you have a piece of content that you put out and you're expecting people to DM you, because sometimes I'll say, like, if I have like a coaching program, like I'm going to say DM me because I really only want serious people. It doesn't have to
yeah,
be 75,000 people,
mm-hmm,
12, 15, 20 people, whatever. I want them to DM me if they're interested. And then I just start a conversation with them. Then I have like my links or whatever I want to send out to them. Be professional, like respond back to them in a reasonable time, like have your websites together, but it goes down in the DMs. The DMs is a really good place to land clients. So just utilize it, I think, in a professional way. Like, answer them. People
yeah.
don't even answering their DMs. I
Sure.
look at the other inbox. Like I'm like, oh, sometimes it's spam. I delete the spam, but somebody can be in that other inbox. I've got an opportunity. So don't
Yo.
forget about that other inbox.
And let me give a tip, if I may, with the DMs. Here's what I teach inside of my coaching. So I'm gonna give you guys an inside look of what I would coach a client on when it comes to the DM. Treat the DM conversation like a triage. You need to be asking questions. You don't
Absolutely.
need to be answering nothing. You just need to be asking all the right questions and letting them know that you hear them. Let them know, I hear you. Yeah, I understand growing on social media is really, really hard. It's still difficult for me, even at this stage, even though I'm a coach. I totally get it. What else are you dealing with? And go on and on and on. You need to ask so many questions that now you know for a fact that if you send them this link for them to schedule a call with you, or if you send them a link to your web page, they are ready, and that's going to be the solution. That's another tip, man. I'm giving away some gold. I normally just ask questions, Michelle. I'm sorry. But like, your call to action should be the solution to their problem.
Absolutely.
It shouldn't be just another step, right? It should be the solution. Like, oh my God, I don't know how to fix my Instagram profile. Take a look at my profile. Is it whack? Hey, click here.
Here's my
buy
audit
this
link.
Digital download to fix it yourself. So I'm done. Back to me being an interviewer. I'm sorry. Sometimes it's so hard for me not to, when we talking about, I just want to say.
No, you gotta let the people know, because I think that's so important. Like you have to utilize DMs like you said, like a relation. You have to ask the questions, like, because there will be people just trying to come get something out of you, but no, we're not doing that. We're not having a consulting call in the DMs.
Nah.
I get those people too, but it's just like, hey, no, that's not what we're gonna do. We're going to respect my time, and if you really want to know these really deep questions, we can chat. But I have like a podcast that's free. I have a YouTube that's free.
Yeah.
I have this whole Instagram page with all of this content that's free.
Yeah.
Email newsletter where I provide free information. So I give away a lot of free information, but if we're gonna talk like real strategy, deep, we got to get on a call.
Yeah, and if we get on the call, just be prepared. Just prepare, and it's only right. And if you're serious, I'm telling you, that's the two biggest words that convert the most in the English language is if and because. You know what I'm saying? If you're serious, that now they be like, well, I'm not that serious. I was just interested in the moment. So I'm not going to keep you too much of your time, right? So we kind of covered a lot. And I'm glad that we did it in just a regular conversation, right? It wasn't anything too crazy or audacious. Like, what are some of the things that you're seeing in social media that people are not paying attention to?
Video. Everybody better get with video. Even though you don't have to dance in the reels, you can do so many reels where you're not even in the video, like utilizing Canva to do that. But just know that like video is the direction that Instagram is definitely going in. Definitely utilize live. There are live badges now. Some brands have badges where your audience can buy you a badge for going live. Like, utilize it. I've made $1,000 so far utilizing badges. So
yeah,
that's free Instagram money, and they definitely send a whole invoice to your email. It's professional, everything. They deposit the check in the account, so it's all legit.
Now, I have a question about that. Do you have to have a certain amount of followers? Because somebody hearing that, they're like, well, Michelle, you got a whole bunch of followers. No. Do you have to have? Is there a follower count that you have to have in order to start getting badges?
I am not sure. Instagram is very, very vague, as everybody knows, with a lot of things that they put out. So I believe you have to have 10,000, but I'm not sure. So I really do not know the answer to that.
It's all good. It's all good.
They are vague. Like, they don't even say like how they roll out stuff, because this new Instagram video is something that's rolling out. Now they're taking away IGTV. If you guys haven't heard, they're mixing together regular Instagram video and IGTV into one. It's going to be called Instagram video. I think it's best because Instagram TV was kind of like the stepchild of Reels.
Yeah,
so we'll see how that goes. I think because this is new, people are going to want to utilize it. Anytime Instagram puts out something new, they're going to want you to utilize it. So start thinking of your strategy for that. I think that is something that we need to pay attention to.
I love it. I love it. So I'm not going to keep you too much longer, but how can people get in contact with you, Michelle? How can they reach out?
Yes, you can follow me on Instagram at Michelle L. Thames. I also have a podcast, Social Media Decoded, talking about all things social media over there. And yeah, follow me on Instagram. That's where I'm at most of the time. I'm trying to get back with TikTok. I also do have a YouTube channel,
Yeah.
Michelle Thames as well. But yeah, that's where you can basically find me on Instagram, giving these tips about social media and really utilizing video. That's I want to just like really let that stick out because I think that Instagram is going to be changing drastically over the next few years. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's just changed over the last week. So
Yes.
really just pay attention if you're a business owner, if you're a coach, consultant, you really want to make sure that you're paying attention to the trends and things that's going on and figure out how you can utilize these channels, and let's stop complaining about it changing and let's just get with the program and like figure out how we can utilize it to create these multiple 6 and 7 figure businesses that people are just creating
Efforts.
effortlessly
Yes.
using social media for free.
Yeah, listen, y'all better get on board. Y'all better reach out to her. So I appreciate it, man. This is the LVTV podcast. If you made it this far on the show, if you watched the video, whether you watched it on IGTV, if it's still there when you're watching, or YouTube, I want to say thank you so much. Make sure you rate and review this podcast and also subscribe so you don't miss any of our future shows because it's all for you guys. Like, I'm good. I just love having conversations, and it just so happened to be recorded, and you get to tune in and rock out with us. So until our next podcast, thank you so much. Continue to be social on social media.